Hello everybody, my name is Jai and welcome to my Christmas unboxing video where I will unbox everything that I have gotten for Christmas. As you can see straight away, I do have a couple locos here that I got for Christmas, and I will admit they are very nice locos. I'll go into more detail about them in a minute. I would quickly just like to say I hope all you guys have had a good Christmas this year. As you know, obviously this year has been in a way worse than last year with the good old virus and all that, but well, we won't talk about that. But all in all, yes, I hope all you guys had a great Christmas. Now with that out of the way, let's get to the video. So what did I get? Well, if you have been looking at the front of the boxes, you can tell they're both NR classes. So yes, I have decided to get some more modern type of trains than what I usually get. I thought, why not get something a bit different for the viewers. So yeah, so I got two NRs here, and one cool thing about them is that what was I saying? Oh yes. So one cool thing about these locos is the fact that these are actually both DCC Sound. So these locomotives are actually my first ever DCC Sound locomotive. So yeah, they're fully DCC. However though, unfortunately, as many of you might know, I don't actually have a DCC controller. Yeah, no figure. However though, I know the fella that I got it off at Toy World, which apparently he said that he's been seeing my video, so if you are actually watching this video, I'd like to say hi and how you doing. But he actually said that these locomotives can run on DC, which I actually never knew that you could run DCC locos on DC, but knowing that you can do that, I am planning to get more DCC locos in the future, probably starting from now. From these two locomotives onwards, I might try to just get mainly DCC. Now there is actually a train show coming up fairly soon in the next 13 days or so, on the 8th or 9th. If you guys don't know, there is a train show happening in Warrnambool. I don't know exactly where yet, I've got to search that up, but I've just heard about it. So on the 8th and 9th there is a train show happening in Warrnambool, and I am going to try to go to that train show and see if I can get either a second-hand or a brand new DCC controller so I can actually properly run these two locomotives. Because the unfortunate truth is, I have tested these locos, and yes, they are beautiful runners, but because I don't have a DCC controller, I can't control the lights, I can't control the sound, so for this video we aren't going to get any of that type of action from DCC. So if you came here to think that I'm going to be showing off all the sounds and all that, unfortunately this is the wrong video for you. Without further ado though, we do have to unbox these first, of course, and we'll start doing that. So I think we'll unbox Vegan first. So as you can see, it is Vegan NR74 in Vegan livery and DCC Sound. So let's go ahead and unbox this first locomotive. Oh yeah, oh yeah, I better move this book too, which I also got for Christmas. Very nice book, by the way. I should actually mention that these are SDS model locomotives. I actually should have said that at the start of the video, but of course, you know me, I'm not that smart. But you know me, I always forget stuff. But if I'm correct, I'm pretty sure these are actually my first SDS locomotives, or my first ever SDS locomotives. So here it is. Oh, better pick that up. So I'll show you the quick little document you get with it. Pretty sure it just shows you like the yeah, it shows you about DCC, I'm pretty sure. Or actually no, of course it doesn't. This actually shows all the different combinations of flicking switches, so that's pretty cool. There you go, that's a bit of a better picture for you. Also something you get, which I guess is sort of like the instructions, is a DCC quick startup guide, which basically means it shows you all the different DCC controls, or what all the different functions do. Anyway, here is the locomotive in its block of ice, as lots of people like to call it, and here it says the cab end, which means this is the way you should always put it when you want to take your locomotive anywhere, to a club or anything like that. So, without further ado, let's take this off, and it just comes out like so. Alright, so I've got it on the box here. I was going to show you by hand, but of course my camera is quite rubbish at focusing, so I've just got it on the box here. But also something nice that you do get in this box is a little accessory pack, which is just a horn. If it does focus, for goodness sake. As you can see, even if it is a bit blurry, you can see that that is a horn. So you do get a accessory horn, which is pretty nice. As for the model itself, this is what it looks like, just unboxed, but still with its thing on it. I'm really sorry about the focusing, guys. I am planning to get a new camera soon, but yeah. So I'll tell you what, I'll quickly take the foam pieces out, and then we'll be able to really see what this locomotive has to shine. Alright, that's better. So here is the actual loco itself, without the foam pieces. So, as you can see, it does look like a very nice model. Especially the paintwork, it looks so good. The GAN is one of my favourite paint schemes on the NR. The only other one that I think is better is the original Pacific National. Not original, sorry, but just the Pacific National one in general is the one I like the most, unfortunately. But yes, it is a very nice looking model. And of course the stupid camera does not like to focus at all. I'm telling you guys, this camera gives me a massive headache every time I want to use it. But there you go, that's a better shot of the back of the locomotive, which when you think about it, with the real trains, it's actually quite hard to see the back of any NR, because it's usually either wagons, or usually they're double-headed, with one facing one way and the other one facing the other way. So if you ever wanted to know what the back of an NR GAN looked like, that's what they look like. And here is the front of the locomotive, which is obviously what everyone wants to see. And here is the roof, if you can see. At least there's the top of it. We will have a better look soon on my white background, which we will do soon. But on all, yes, that is what the GAN looks like, at least the front and the back and what are the sides, and the roof we'll have a look at later. Now, let me quickly unbox the Pacific National NR. Alright, so here is the other NR class. This one is NR1 in the Pacific National livery. I didn't decide to unbox this on camera because it's literally the same packaging, so yeah, nothing too different apart from really the paint scheme, which unfortunately I have to say to some viewers is actually my favourite paint scheme on the NRs. So which I don't know why I'm saying unfortunately, because in my opinion the Pacific National, at least on the NRs, it definitely does quite suit them. So without further ado, let's have a quick look, quick first look at the Pacific National one, and then we'll put these two locomotives on the backdrop and have a closer look at their detail. So obviously the main difference compared to the GAN obviously is the paint job, which like saying is very nice. I do love the Pacific National paint scheme on the NRs. My favourite part really is the Pacific National on the sides. So yes, Very nice model. And again, if you've always wanted to know what the back of a NR looked like, which I'll do a quick zoom in. There you go. So if you ever wanted to know what the back of a Pacific National NR looked like, then there you go. And there's the front. You can see you got Pacific National on there with the NR1. This is essentially what most front of NRs look like. So as some surprisingly, when I first bought this locomotive, I didn't actually know I got NR1, but that's no criticism or anything. I actually quite like it. But anyway, so that's the front of the NR, of the Pacific National one. Another thing I guess I'll quickly show you is underneath, which it's the same with the GAN, like saying, because they are both the same locos. Obviously, like saying, because they're DCC Sound, they do already have a DCC decoder inside of them. And as you can see, there is a speaker, which is obviously where get the sound off. And of course, got a cute little SDS logo there, which is, I do quite like it, how Australian companies do that. But without further ado, that is both the GAN and the Pacific National unboxing. Now I'm going to quickly show you these locomotives up close and personal, so let me get them set up. Alright, so here are the two NR locomotives on my white backdrop. So I think we will start out with the GAN, and first of all we'll just have a quick look at the front of the locomotive as a start, and yeah, see what there is. So we've got the cow catcher at the bottom, or the plough, and as you can see, we do have a lot of separately fitted parts. We do have a few separately fitted hoses, and of course where the air brakes would be. You got some ladders that head up to the locomotive. We do have the ditch lights, which I have yet to see if they even work. We've got the front of the logo of the GAN on there, as you can see. And on the top, as you can see, there is just some of the top detail, such as the horns, the marker lights, and the main headlight. And you have some detail up here, which I'm not sure exactly what they are. So we'll move on the sides of the locomotive. As you can see, we have the NR logo on there, which looks very nice. We do have separately fitted handrails. And there's a little grey sticker just next to the number. I'm not sure exactly what that's meant to represent, but I will find out if it's readable by the time I finish with this. But yeah, here is the entire side. We've got the GAN just here. Looks very nice. We also do have the very nice white handrails. And then we move on to the back of the locomotive, which we'll have a more closer look at. As for underneath, this is the frame area, and that's what the fuel tank looks like. And then you got the ladder, which is meant to lead down to the locomotive. So as promised, here is the back. As you can see, it has the air horn on the top. Then we have the all the lights, the main lights, marker lights, all on the top there. Then we have just some random white handrail, which, to be honest, I don't know exactly what that's meant for. Anyway, you got the GAN on the bottom there, and then just like the front, it's got all the air hoses and the ditch lights and coupler, and of course a very nice, colourful, stripy snow plough. Anyway, that is what the GAN looks like. Now let's have a look at the Pacific National one. Alright, so here is the other NR in Pacific National. So just like the GAN, we will start from the bottom and work our way up. So at the bottom here, we've got the snow plough, and it is pretty much identical. The only difference is mainly the fact the paint scheme's a bit different. So you got all the pipe work, and you got the ditch lights and all that good old jazz. But here in the middle is where we get a bit different. As you can see, we've got the Pacific National logo here, and we do have NR number 1. And as we move a little bit more high, you can see the white handrail just above the Pacific National logo. And as we move more high in the cab, as you might actually see, which I forgot to say in again, is that we do have window wipers. Yeah, there you go. You can see them there. So that's pretty nice. As we move more up the top, as you can see, if it doesn't blur out, we have one side that says NR, and then the other side says 1. So I'll move this way, that way you don't see my stupid shadow, but just like the GAN, it is pretty much the same. But like saying, if you've always wanted to know what the top of an NR class looks like, this is pretty much what it would look like on top. There isn't that much to say about the top, as it is just a big molded piece of plastic. Anyway, we'll move on the side of the locomotive, and as you can see, we have the side, which has NR1 there. We do have the side of the cab, and here's where we get a bit more better detail. We got the grills just over there. Got the handrails, which go all the way to the other side of the model, of course. We do have the Pacific National logo, which does look very nicely printed on there. And then we have the 5 stars on it, which most NRs in this paint scheme, most of them do have this star configuration, which is pretty cool. And just near the bottom of the chassis, just like the other NR, that's what the side looks like. So here is the back of the locomotive, just a bit of a closer look. So just like the front, you do have all the air hoses and ditch lights there. You do have NR number 1 there, and you actually have the Pacific National on top of the white handrail, which is pretty nice. Pretty much the same with the headlights and all that, and same with the number boards, and of course the horn at the back. So yes, now let me quickly show you underneath this locomotive. So here is a quick look underneath the model. If you wanted to know what it looks like in a better closer look, those switches there are what supposedly control the lights if you just operate on DC, which is what I have to operate on for now. Of course, you got the speaker right in the middle, which obviously is meant to emulate, which is meant to deal with the sounds. And then there's the back. So yes, so that is looking at the locomotives. I hope you guys enjoyed at least looking at them. Now I think it's time that I tell you a little bit of history about the NR class. The NRs were first introduced in 1996 with 120 units being built, and ever since then have been the main backbone of Australian railways. You can see these locomotives almost on every single railway line in Australia, carrying freight and also passenger trains. Even to this day, after 26 years in service, these locomotives are still quite common around the Australian railway network. So that was a very brief history of the NR classes. Now I'm going to show you how my NR locomotives run on DC. Alright, well I just have the 2 locomotives just on my kitchen table here with a just a little test layout just to show you guys how they work and all that good stuff. So like saying, I do not have DCC controllers, I only have a crappy DC controller. So unfortunately for now on I can only show you like literally some of the basics, which is just really not that much. So I will first test out this Pacific National one and see how that goes. And yeah, and let me show you how this runs on DC. I'll just stop it there. Now we'll go into reverse. So as you can see, even though you can hear, even though you can hear me start to control it quite early, it does take a while for these DCC locomotives to respond. And although that is kind of annoying that they do take a while to respond, it's actually, in a way, it's going to be pretty cool for, say if I want to get shots of them just slowly creeping up to speed. But that is one thing that you will see if you get a DCC locomotive on a DC track. But anyway, let me show you the gang quickly, and then I'll get on with the next part in the video. Alright, so here is the GAN on the track, and I'm just gonna turn the controller on for you. And again, as you can see, even though when it's like up 50%, it does take a while for it to respond. Nice and smooth runners though, they're nice and quiet. Alright. It'll make it go backwards. Should the light pop up? Yeah, the light's actually not coming back. Alright, let me try to show you this backlight again. Wrong way. Yep, that's more like it. Here it comes. I had to slow it down there, got near the end. So that is both locomotives, the way they work on DC, so... However though, this video isn't done yet. I will do a few shots of, or I guess like, I'll just show you a few pictures of these two locomotives just together, with maybe a few wagons on here, and then I'll do a couple shots for you outside, so let me do that. So I think I'm gonna wrap up the video there. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I will quickly say some good things about it and also just a couple negative things about these models. However though, I can definitely recommend these locomotives from SDS models. They are very great, even knowing I can only run them on DC, they do still run very great, which is good. They are very nice and smooth and quiet locomotives, which is also a very good thing. And to me, for only $400 for the size of the model you're getting, and obviously the sounds and all that, and the functions you would get from it, I think it's a pretty good buy. Some negatives I want to just impose, like, I guess you could sort of say criticism, but they're not that bad. Even though it's really good how they show you on the box like what all the different numbers do when you select on a DCC controller. The one criticism I want to give is that it doesn't come with normal instructions, and what I mean by that is how to lubricate the model, how to pull it apart, stuff like that. Obviously if a professional modeler has this, I'm pretty sure they'll be very fine with it, but for a newcomer like me, I do kind of wish that it came with instructions. That way when I do have to maintain these locos, I would like it if I could have the instructions to actually see how to pull this thing apart. So all in all guys, like I said before, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. And also, I hope you guys have had a very good Christmas, and I hope to see you guys in the, hopefully, Happy New Year. Although I don't know what the New Year's gonna hold, so let's cross fingers and that it's gonna be a good year next year. But until then guys, thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.